What if I told you that people who live past 100 share one habit that's more powerful than any diet, exercise routine, or supplement? Research from the world's longest living populations reveals something shocking. Centenarians don't just live longer, they live happier. And it's not because they eat more vegetables or walk 10,000 steps a day. The secret lies in a Japanese concept called Ikigai, your reason for being. It's the one thing that gets you out of bed every morning with energy and excitement. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how to discover and cultivate your own sense of purpose. Because this isn't just about adding years to your life, it's about adding life to your years. Here's what blew my mind when I started researching this. Scientists studying blue zones, regions where people routinely live past 100 when, found that having a strong sense of purpose can add up to 7 years to your lifespan. 7 years. That's more than most medical interventions can promise. But here's the thing, most people miss. It's not just about living longer. When researchers looked at what separates thriving centenarians from those who simply survive, purpose was the defining factor. People with a clear reason for living don't just reach 100, they reach 100 with their minds sharp, their bodies mobile, and their spirits intact. The biological impact is incredible. When you have purpose, your body literally functions differently. Your cortisol levels, that's your stress hormone, stay lower throughout the day. Chronic inflammation, which accelerates aging in every organ system, decreases significantly. Your brain releases more dopamine and serotonin, the chemicals that make you feel good and motivated. Let me tell you about Misao Okawa, who lived to 117 every morning until she was 115. She would wake up and say, "Today, I will help someone smile." That was it. Her daily mission wasn't to conquer the world or build an empire. It was simply to bring joy to one person each day. Her family said she never seemed stressed, never complained about aches and pains, and approached each day with genuine curiosity about who she might encounter. This is where modern society has failed us. We've stripped away the natural sources of purpose that our ancestors had built into their lives. They lived in tight communities where their role mattered. They had clear responsibilities to family, neighbors, and their crafty. Today, we're told to find our passion, chase our dreams, but we're not taught how to connect those dreams to something bigger than ourselves. There's a crucial difference between having goals and having purpose. Goals are about what you want to achieve. Purpose is about who you want to serve. Goals have finish lines. Purpose is ongoing. You can accomplish every goal on your list and still feel empty. But when you have purpose, even mundane tasks feel meaningful. Purpose acts as a psychological buffer against life's inevitable challenges. When centenarians face loss, illness, or setbacks, their sense of purpose gives them a reason to keep going. It's not toxic positivity, it's practical resilience. They know that someone or something depends on them, so giving up isn't an option. The brain science behind this is fascinating. When you engage in purposeful activities, your brain's reward system lights up differently than when you pursue purely selfish goals. The prefrontal cortex, responsible for decision-making and emotional regulation, becomes more active. The default mode network, which is associated with rumination and depression, becomes less active. What's remarkable is how simple most centenarians' purposes are. They're not trying to save the world. They're focused on their immediate circle, their family, their garden, their neighborhood. They're crafty, but that focus creates a ripple effect that extends far beyond what they can see. So how do you actually discover your own Ikigai? The traditional Japanese approach breaks it down into 3 interconnected pillars. And here's where most people get it wrong. They try to find some grand, life-changing purpose when the most powerful purposes are often hiding in plain sight. The first pillar is what you love. But I'm not talking about surface-level interests or hobbies you think you should enjoy. I'm talking about activities that make you lose track of time. What were you drawn to as a child before the world told you what you should want? What conversations energize you? What problems do you find yourself naturally wanting to solve? Here's the key. Your love doesn't have to be exotic or impressive. Jiromon Kimura, who lived to 116, found deep satisfaction in tending his vegetable garden every morning. He wasn't passionate about agriculture as an industry. He loved the daily ritual of nurturing growth, seeing seeds transform into food that nourished his family. That simple love sustained him for over a century. The second pillar is what you're good at. This isn't about being world-class or having formal credentials. It's about recognizing the skills you've developed through experience, the things people naturally come to you for help with. Maybe you're good at listening when people are upset. Maybe you have a knack for organizing chaos. Maybe you can explain complicated things in simple ways. Don't dismiss skills just because they feel easy to you. What feels effortless to you might be incredibly valuable to others. The centenarians I've studied didn't become masters by accident. They found something they were naturally decent at and kept doing it with purpose for decades. The third pillar is what the world needs. This is where people often think too big and get overwhelmed. You don't need to solve world hunger or cure cancer. The world needs someone to check on elderly neighbors. The world needs someone to teach kids how to tie their shoes. The world needs someone to make people laugh during difficult times. Your Ikigai lives at the intersection of these three pillars. It's where your love meets your abilities and connects to a real need around you. The magic happens when you stop asking, "What's my purpose?" and start asking, "How can I use what I love and what I'm good at to help the people right in front of me?" Common mistakes people make when trying to discover their purpose: they wait for lightning to strike. They think it has to be their career. They believe it has to make them rich or famous. None of that is true. Your Ikigai doesn't have to pay your bills, though it might. It doesn't have to impress anyone, though it will inspire the right people. Consider Jeanne Calment, who lived to 122. Her purpose wasn't grand. She simply committed to being a source of joy and humor for everyone she met. She sold pencils in her family's shop, rode her bicycle well into her 100s, and made people laugh with her quick wit. She found meaning in daily interactions, not in changing the world. The beauty of Ikigai is that it's supposed to start small and evolve naturally. You don't need to have it all figured out today. Begin with one small way you can use something you love and something you're good at to help someone else. Pay attention to how it feels. Notice what energizes you and what drains you. Your purpose will reveal itself through action, not through thinking. Once you've identified the seeds of your Ikigai, the real work begins. Weaving purpose into your everyday routine. This is where centenarians excel. They don't save their purpose for weekends or retirement. They find ways to live it every single day. Start each morning by asking yourself one simple question. What's my reason for getting up today? Not your obligations or your schedule, but your reason. Maybe it's to help your coworker finish that difficult project. Maybe it's to call your parent who's been feeling lonely. Maybe it's to work on that creative project that brings you joy. Having a specific reason transforms your entire day. Practice what I call weekly purpose mapping. At the end of each week, look at your daily tasks and connect them to larger meaning. That grocery run isn't just an errand. It's how you nourish your family. That work project isn't just a deadline. It's how you contribute to something bigger than yourself. This practice trains your brain to see purpose everywhere. Your purpose can show up in relationships through being fully present with people who matter to you. It can show up in service by volunteering or helping neighbors. It can show up in creativity by making something that brings beauty into the world. It can show up in personal growth by becoming the person others can count on. During difficult seasons, and they will come, your purpose becomes your anchor. When centenarians face loss or illness, they don't abandon their purpose. They adapt it. They find new ways to contribute, even when their circumstances change. Purpose isn't fragile. It's flexible. Here's something powerful. Have multiple sources of purpose, rather than putting all your eggs in one basket. Maybe you find meaning in mentoring young people, caring for your garden, and preserving family traditions. When one area faces challenges, the others keep you grounded. Simple daily actions that reinforce your sense of mission include starting each day with intention, ending each day by reflecting on how you contributed to something beyond yourself, and regularly asking, how can I be useful, instead of what can I get? Here's what I want you to remember. Purpose isn't something you find like a hidden treasure. It's something you cultivate through daily practice, like tending a garden. The centenarians who live longest and happiest don't have perfect lives or extraordinary talents. They simply wake up each day committed to being useful to something bigger than themselves. Your challenge this week is simple. Identify one small way you can serve something beyond your immediate needs. It might be as simple as calling someone who needs encouragement, or as involved as volunteering for a cause you care about. Start there and let it grow naturally. If this resonated with you, subscribe for more insights on living a longer, more meaningful life.